Hey guys, it's David from Automotive Press. I have the 2026 Genesis GV70 refreshed for 2026, and guess what? It still has a V6 engine, not a Turbo 4, although that's available in the lower line models, but this one still has a V6 and I love that. But let me do my full engineer's review from outside inside. I'll talk about things that most other people won't talk about, and let me tell you what I think of the 2026 GV70. Let's go. Welcome back. So I have the 2026 GV70. It has gone through quite a few updates for 2026, including some changes in terms of headlights and the front grille. Also, the interior has gone through some major updates as well. But let me do my usual engineer's review and do my full quality check, and also tell you things that you might not be aware of, such as manufacturing capability and so forth. So let me start off by telling you that this particular model is built in Korea. You can tell that by the K in the VIN number, that's the first letter. And interesting enough, the GV70 is also produced in the US, in the US factory, but the Canadian models will come from Korea due to the tariffs reasons, but in the US you will get it from a US factory. Now I understand that in some cases the Canadians might also get the US model, and it's not 100% clear to me which way yet, but for the most part we will get the Korean manufactured version and Americans will get the US built version, and that kind of makes sense due to tariffs. But what about the quality of this particular one? Well, I'm going to do my usual check in terms of my gaps. But if you noticed, there's something unusual about this particular design, because the front hood actually goes over a little lip here. And so it's not your usual gap. And this design makes that look really unique. Also, the paint job is a matte paint or semi-gloss paint. And so that also changes the way I measure things on this particular vehicle. But let me try to measure my gaps anyway. So the gap you can see here is actually quite good at 3.5 millimeter. And then the gap over here is also 3.2. So that's pretty well what I expect from a premium car. Also, I'm going to reference to the Lexus RX as well, just a comparison. They compete directly with each other. And of course, I like the fact that we still have a V6 engine in this one. We don't have that in RX anymore. But the quality is about the same as RX. The only thing, as I mentioned, is that because of this design, you can see there's two small rocks that got caught between the hood and the front fenders. So I'm not really sure from engineer's perspective if I like this design, but it looks good either way. So let me continue to measure here. Looks really good at 3.2 millimeter, 3.3 millimeter, and 3.2 millimeters. And you can see all the lines really line up really well. So excellent quality, as I would expect from their Korean factory, because they do tend to produce very high quality premium build. What about the paint? Let me do the paint thickness gauge check. So I got my usual paint thickness gauge. Now you should be aware that this is a kind of semi-matte or semi-gloss paint. So there is still a clear coat on top. People think that there's no clear coat when it's a matte paint, but there is a protection over. It's just that they use a different technique to provide this look and feel. But the paint thickness, I think, is going to be the same as normal. So 109 microns. This is 116. I would say that so far it looks identical, 123. And I'll just do one more check here. It gets a little bit dirty, the paint, so I have to wipe it and make sure it's good. 125. So give or take, it's about the same as Lexus RX. It's also about 100 to 125 microns, so I expect nothing less. Like, I don't want it to be anything less than this in terms of thickness. But actual uniformity of the paint in terms of the kind of this reflection of the light, even though it's a semi-gloss paint, is really good. I see a little bit of a variance between this piece here and this piece, a little bit, but not much. It's hard to really hide paint issues with semi-matte paint because everything shows so clearly, but the paint quality looks good so far. Before I go to the interior, I got the hood open here because I wanted to show that this one still has a V6 engine, 3.5 liter twin turbo, 375 horsepower, and it's a beautiful engine and it performs really well. And this is one thing that I really wish that Lexus/Toyota would have kept in some of their high-end cars, because RX is 2.4 turbo, even TX is 2.4 turbo unless you buy the plug-in hybrid. I mean, come on guys, V6 is beautiful, it feels great, and it's the right engine for premium luxury vehicles like this. And I'm really glad that for the Genesis anyway they kept the V6 engine. But I just want to show you this two little thing that was stuck between the hood and the front fender earlier. I don't know what it is. Looks like some kind of a acorn nuts or something, but that's the only issue with that design. Things get caught in there. But let's talk about the engine once I get on the road, and I'll show you the inside first. All right, so I'm inside the Genesis GV70 now. Keep in mind once again that it is available as a 2.5 liter turbo 4. In addition to V6, also available in GV70 electrified version, which is a fully electric vehicle. So you have quite a few choices, but there's no hybrid or plug-in hybrid models available from Genesis. But regardless, let me take a look at the inside here. So the big change for 2026 is that you have one unified panel, 27 inches OLED or OLED panel. Gorgeous, beautiful design. Looks really clean. I actually didn't mind though that when the two were separated, but in the previous model, the infotainment system was too far back. It was really hard to reach. So this is closer now. It's much easier to kind of figure things out, and it's also very quick. So no complaints with the infotainment system. They did remove some buttons though, and so this part is all now a haptic style touch, and it works really good. But once again, whenever you remove any kind of knobs or controls, so you have to always use your eye and your hand and coordinate things. So I'm not too crazy about that. But thankfully they did keep this part here. So the temperature control is still a real knob, and so is the audio control, and these are a little bit of a haptic style as well. But it looks really good with the gorgeous inlays of this carbon fiber style look. And we still have the dial system for managing the infotainment system, although you can use your hand, and also one for the actual transmission shifting. So that's a bit of a challenge sometimes because these two look too much alike and they're too close to each other. I've said that before. But in terms of the 8-speed automatic, it functions really well. It's really smooth, and I'll talk about the engine performance a little bit later on. I do love the design, and if you compare this to Lexus or Infiniti or Acura, I mean, what's so apparent is that Genesis and Hyundai as a company clearly understands design. They have some of the top designers that they hired away from other manufacturers in Europe, and you can really tell that they have done a great job of designing something beautiful. We always said Genesis interior looks like something out of a Bentley, and it still does. The stitching and everything looks beautiful. We got double stitching here. Everything lines up. When I do my punch test, it's very solid. The thickness of the material, the feeding of the material is really good. You don't have a hard plastic. Thankfully, the Lexus RX doesn't have too much hard plastic as well. But more and more cars have really hard, cheap-looking plastic, and that's a disappointment. But in this flagship model with GV70, everything looks good. You got Alcantara-style headliner as well. And so if you just walk inside and look at it from an engineer's perspective, I mean, honestly, it looks like something out of a $150,000 or even a $200,000 car in terms of the interior design and engineering. But you're getting this in a sort of a mid $80,000 package. This is the Canadian pricing, and everything looks gorgeous, and very little piano block, just a little bit here and here. Seats are really comfortable. You also get the Alcantara lining on this particular Sport model, and all the other gadgets that you really know and would expect from a car of this price range and in this type of market. You would expect all the latest technology for wireless Apple CarPlay and safety features as well. So you also get all of that. A pretty decent sized center console, and also plenty of USB connection as well. So the quality looks really good inside, and the components look really good. If I try to kind of feel the gaps between and among the panels is really tight. I don't see any kind of issue. I'll do a little bit of punch test here, and again, nothing is loose. So interior quality looks really good. Now let's take it for a drive. All right, so I've got the GV70 on the road. As I mentioned, it has a 3.5 twin turbo V6, 375 horsepower. There's no hybrid system on this model, and also it has an 8-speed automatic transmission. The whole thing is engineered and built in Korea. And I gotta admit, when you drive this and you drive similarly priced competitors, including the Lexus RX, Acura RDX, also compared to other compact / mid-size models from BMW, Audis, and so forth, I would say this one feels the best among all the models in terms of general driving feel. So I'm talking about balance of handling, ride, comfort, NVH, basic performance, and especially when you take the pricing into account. It is definitely a better car than the Lexus RX because of the V6 engine primarily, but also I think it's just a little bit better engineered. There's a little bit more attention to details in terms of things like aesthetics and design of the infotainment system. But of course, Lexus has their own reputation in terms of quality and long-term reliability. In that regard, Genesis still have some catching up to do. But in terms of just the driving character and my impression on the road, this is among the best in this price range. It kind of feels like a BMW in many ways, a little bit sportier and a lot better feedback from the steering to my hands. If I step on the gas like this, pretty good performance and very natural organic feel thanks to more relaxed fitting of a turbocharged V6 engine. And this one has adaptive suspension as well, so the ride is really quite comfortable. And even if I put on sport mode, let me do that quickly. Sport, or in fact I'll put in Sport Plus mode, the ride gets a little bit firmer and the steering gets a little bit heavier, but still really comfortable. And what I do like is the fact that I can tell quite a bit of difference in terms of steering feel. Lexus, especially when you put in sport mode, there's not much difference, but in this particular model the steering does get heavier, has a little bit better feedback, and the ride is firmer but still very comfortable. So the sport model actually does something significant, and so if I put it in a Sport S Plus model, it's not too far off from a feeling of a Porsche Macan, let's say, and so it has a really good driving character. The suspension system, the transmission, the engine, everything working together creates a very balanced luxury feel with excellent NVH. So if you're just shopping car to car and you do a test drive and you drive the Lexus RX and then maybe the Acura RDX, BMW X3s and Audi Q5s, and you come back to this one, you will say that for this price, this car is the best one. So I have nothing but praise in terms of driving feel. But in conclusion, I guess the challenge is the fact that Genesis is still somewhat unknown. It doesn't have the same reputation as a Lexus or Acura or BMW. And so the resale value isn't super good. So you might want to lease this car instead of buying it. And even though the quality has been very good for the most part, and there hasn't been any serious recalls and issues in terms of reliability, it doesn't have the same reputation that maybe Lexus and some other Japanese brands have. So that would be the biggest challenge for Genesis, to overcome the stigma that the Korean manufacturers may still have to some degree, although that is changing quickly. But in terms of just car to car, in terms of dollar for dollar, this is a better car than Lexus RX for sure. That's the one car I really wanted to compare it to. And given the choice, which one would I prefer to drive every day? Well, clearly this one with the V6 engine and really good solid steering feel that is really missing and lacking in many Japanese brands these days. So I hope you enjoyed my video and learned something about the Genesis GV70. Look forward to catching up with you again. But in the meantime, if you can give me a thumbs up and make some comments, that'd be great. And if you haven't subscribed yet, would you kindly subscribe, because many of you guys watch my videos but are not subscribers, and I would really appreciate that. Until next video, I'm signing off for now. Thank you so much.